Define your genetic structure. Choose a genetic resilience. Choose your fur style. Pick your main color. Choose your detail color. Pick a class. Pick your main color. Pick a class. Psy-Freak. Commando. Deadeye. Psy-Freak. Saboteur. Sentinel. Saboteur. Psy-Freak. Psy-Freak chosen. Good choice. Here's somebody with a troubled past, drawn into the spotlight of a story that's already begun. We're already at a crossroads, but for you, it's not only a crossroad, but a choice, a reflection of your key, the primal energy that flows through everything.
Allow me to introduce myself. I'm the dark side of you.
Can't believe you'd choose that
thing.
better.
The best.
Guess left can be right sometimes. Stories of death and the bodies left behind, a reminder that we're at the mercy of nature and the one that preys on others. Do you remember the beast that shattered your family, or did you choose to forget? You turned your back on our world and got lost in your own. Meanwhile, the predator only grew stronger. Better make a run for it. This is not the time nor place to end this story. This time, it was best to run and live to fight another day. Let us hope you're ready for it when it comes. The predator isn't the only threat. The wildlife started to mutate when the end of days began, and the tree of life started to die. The oil sludges everywhere. To most, it only means death, but some have adapted to the new environment and changed with it. Evolution has its ways. Hey, smarty. Look, an emergency box from the once was. A rare sight. That pipe looks weak. The claw bar should come in handy. Whoa! It's time to find a way out of this place. No, really, I mean it. The morks produce biomatter in their multi-organ that they shed under distress, blobs that affect the cellular coding strands of any living being when absorbed, including you. Toxanol built vessels called arks to save themselves from the impending doom. But was it too late? It is only from the flight logs of the single ark they left behind that we know other arks travelled through the sky and beyond. It seems those that came before us never lost hope in finding a new home for their kind. Just a few moves left. Make them count. There are few records of the chain of events that led to the big apocalypse eons ago, but it's clear the world wasn't prepared for how recklessly the Toxanol Corporation would make its mark on the world. Their rare earth mining and nuclear industries generated tons of waste, and, without consideration for the future, they dumped it all in landfills until they ran out of space. That's when they made the big mistake. They began dumping the toxic waste in the surf just off the coast instead, assuming that it would sink and decay with time. And they were right. But no one was prepared for what was about to unfold. Once in the surf, the radiation interfered with the genetics of the wildlife and created bizarre mutations in their offspring. It had an inconceivable impact on biodiversity and the entire ecosystem. The world as they knew it crumbled as nature retaliated. It would never be the same again, and what remained of it became ours. The sound of spark metal going pew-pew is never a good thing. It's coming from behind that door. A warning label. The box looks like a potential brain melt. It's going to take a bit of puzzling to short-circuit the door. Quite a shock to the system. Let's try that again. Quite a shock to the system. Let's try that again. Quite a shock to the system. Let's try that again. There you go. The wheeled one is outnumbered. You'd better help him out. That's the last of them. Let's talk to the wheeled one before backup arrives. He wants to thank you for taking his side against the scavengers. He sounds familiar. You just can't figure out why. He presents himself as out of date. He knows he's way overdue, but he hasn't given up. He doesn't seem surprised that you don't recognize him. You were just a child back then, the night everything changed. There have been rumors of a one-eyed Ronin seen outside the Great Wall, and he's happy to see it's true. The legend of the one-eyed child that grew up as an outcast is old and sad. The child could have been anyone, but the evil it had fled had left a mark, a facial scar to remember the past. There's no doubt you're the child, and that what Lupa Lupin did to your village, your Muma and Popsy, was the beginning of the end. He says it has taken you a long time to bring the past back up to the present, to find your way back, but he's grateful you have. It was after the attack that the unity fell apart. Your Muma's disciples divided and formed tribes as a reaction to the blight that had fallen upon the land. Had it not been for the Tree of Life, no one would have survived. He hopes you at least remember the tree. Asks if you are tired, as it's a bit of a hike here from the village. He wonders if your Muma knows you are here. You're such a good child, so you probably did. Even the young forget. He understands why you came all the way out here, to see them, the potato people. The potato people, or Nono, are a wonder somehow. You might be right. Like potatoes, they're packed with energy, an excellent source of ki. The Nono prefer to hide in glitter grass. He says you should get over there and ruffle it. See if you can make one come out of hiding. You found one. You should be proud. They don't come out for everyone. The Nono's ki energy is just what the Pensai needs to complete its cycle and grow into a tree of life. Only time will tell. At least his intention is to dedicate his life to it. He has the feeling the fate of the world depends on it. You'll need to support the tree for a long time to come. The only way it'll grow tall is with the burst of ki released from the Nono as they become one with the tree. You'll need a net to catch the Nonno, and he wants you to use his, but asks you to be gentle. The Nonno are sensitive beings, an embodiment of Ki, the primal energy. You handle that net like you've never done anything else. He's impressed. One day, he hopes the tree will have grown tall enough to sustain. But today, your focus is getting this one to become one with the tree. Now that you've seen the Nonno's connection with the tree with your own eyes, you have... From this day on, he'll make nurturing the Pensai into a tree of life, One day, the land won't be as peaceful. Not even your Mooma will be able. He says you'd better hurry back to the village before your Mooma comes looking for you. No, she's got lots on her mind and needs rest after the raid last night on the Lupin camp with her disciples. Wonders if they let the Predator family live or not. He lost you there for a while, but no memory is alone. It's part of a trail you can follow. He says he remembers every single day he devoted to growing the tree of life, but now he's afraid it might be in vain. The tree started to die when the end of days begun, and it wasn't long after that that the World Eaters arrived. Records tell of the ruinous devastation the Toxanol Corporation inflicted on the land. The apocalypse sparked a re-evolution, the second coming, and our lineage. His friend Gizmo is working on a Mekton and needs help defeating the Jumbo Puff at the end of the West Route. Wiz is still repairing his octopod to confront the Merc Puff that dwells deep down under the surface at the end of the Northwest Route. Nocco has tamed the Midget and is preparing to take on the Hoof Puff at the end of the East Route. Finally, Goop is almost done with the Goo Glide, a machine able to ride the waves of the surf all the way out to the Porky Puff at the end of the route to the southeast. Out of Date says his friends are gearing up to stop the World Eaters. There's one at the end of each route. The road ahead won't be easy, but he's counting on your support. His friends aren't strong enough to end this on their own. He wants you to understand that you'll all die if the tree isn't saved. Regardless, you'll meet again once you've played your part in the tribe war and the situation with the World Eaters. You're getting the hang of it. Quickest way out is through the roof where they came in, and the rope looks strong enough to climb. Know that the Tree of Life is dying. Its days are numbered. Without help, it can't endure the environmental change and assault from the World Eaters. A signpost maps it out for the cartographically challenged. Let's see. Must be the World Eater that chewed off Out-of-Date's leg. You'll need a hat trick to bring that down. Look, a survivor. Glad to see someone made it out alive. He's heard the stories about the terror inflicted by the World Eaters to other enclaves, but never expected one to come all He worries there won't be much left to save if this continues, even if the Tree of Life survives the attack. He doesn't know what your connection is to this place, but something tells him you've stayed true to your heart. Anyway, he needs help and says it's by your actions you'll be judged, not by your intentions. He's grateful for that. You still seem to have a spark of light in you.
Ah! That's a spark of light in you!
That's right. Smack that spark out before it starts.
You don't have to be so harsh. It's such a little spark.
Take it out now while it's small.
There's always another spark.
There's Out-of-Date again. He must have missed something important. Out-of-Date says you will make a better stand against the World Eaters with the support of a tribe, and there are 2 nearby. The Myriad tribe is likely to be a good match as they act on the understanding of the greater good and have a code of honor. Regardless of who you choose, it won't be easy, as the conflict between the tribes is worse than ever, teetering on the brink of war. The Myriad's conviction to stop the World Eaters began when the Leviathans rose from the depths of the surf. Siding with the Myriad's movement for wholeness in a fragmented world might seem like the logical thing to do, but is it the right thing? One thing's certain, though. Destiny arrives all the same. The Jagni tribe only ever had one conviction: to bring balance to the world by wiping out the weak. They believe a cleansing is necessary to restore the world and want to let the World Eaters bring down the Tree of Life. But siding with Jagni isn't necessarily a bad thing. Fate will find a way. Out of Date says someone needs to break the stalemate and shift the balance of power to either Jagni's or Myriad's side. He believes the tribe Sifus, Myriad especially, will listen to you and expects you to pay at least one of them a visit and play your part. Out of Date will be waiting for you beneath the Tree of Life if you lose track of what you need to do. Another fork in the road. It's either the tunnel or the motor bridge. What'll it be? It's a bridge. Just get over it. They've destroyed this area, muddied up what used to be muck, as if it wasn't bad enough before the tribe war began. That's the Hiiiiii tribe's fort. Their friendship can be a blessing or a curse. It's up to you. You're either a part of their solution to the tribe war or part of the problem. Says they're wary of strangers. They're at war. They've already got word of an intruder, so he guesses the Sifu must be very interested in meeting you.
Zata idzie mój do tloho. Kariesne stace. Paro, ja put i
The Hiiiiii tribe wants to become omnipresent and, most importantly, feared. They want to vanquish the tribes, as the only way they can guarantee peace is through supremacy. The Sifu is determined to let the World Eaters destroy the Tree of Life, as it's part of their strategy to cleanse the world and start anew. He welcomes you to the Hiiiiii fort and introduces himself as the tribe's Sifu. The news of a cold-blooded Ronin crossing the Great Wall through the crack in Bunker 101 preceded you. He's referring to your rampage through Bunker 101. It seems you don't mind a bit of blood on your hands. That's something you haven't. There's something about your spirit that sparks memories of you as a kidling. He can still sense you're kind-hearted. There were 6 of them, but the unity fell apart after Lupa Lupin attacked the old village. Soon after, they formed new tribes based on their own values, and when the Blight started, the animosity escalated to war. Hiiiiii doesn't want a new unity between the tribes. Their goal is to become omnipresent and, most important, says there is some darkness in the best of us, even you, and suggests you embrace that side of you and help them vanquish the tribes and let them... He wasn't sure you'd do that. But it seems your mind took control of that big heart of yours. That's a sign of strength. The Sifu was waiting for something to tip the balance in their favor, and with you by their side, he's confident you can vanquish the other tribes. The one he wants to deal with first is the Myriad tribe. Their kin must put an end to the war before war puts an end to them. It'll cost bruises and broken bone, but they refuse to be the victim here. He wants you to focus. These are the new rival outposts your tribe needs to take control of. He says you'll regret not being on their side. The only way you'll learn their secrets, Wung Fu and the tribe weapon now, is if you defeat him. And that will never happen. Even if you see the world differently, you must hit them as soon and as hard as you can. The outcome of this war is up to you. Tells you not to be afraid. Your fate cannot be taken from you. claim the right.
Iglis moi toxidra.
Once you've conquered the rivals' outposts, you'll challenge their Sifu for control of their territory.
Iglis moi toxidra.
Seeing you brings back his memories of the old village.
Is the moi.
He remembers your kind and unselfish soul, and can sense you still have it in you, the will to do good.
Is the moi.
Anyway, you'll pass your old village on your way to the first rival outpost, but we've got no time to be sentimental. The gatekeeper welcomes you back to the fort. Seems surprised. Better beware, that's a mump up ahead. They were hit hard by evolution, the wonky ones especially, deformed and unfurred. buffer than ever. Time is lost on this place, but it evokes a tingling sensation. There's something special about it, drawing you closer. Let's see. As time passes, memories fade, and sometimes feelings change. It's not about who you were, it's about who you'll become. This story is far from over. Echoes of a long-lost past, like whispers in the wind. Here's someone who takes each day as it comes. He wonders where you've been. He hopes you've been out at the lake, practicing your swimming technique. Goop says some choose to be lonely because no one understands what they're going through. If that's you, he'll try to help you, if you let him. He thinks you should really know how to swim by now. He says, that wasn't too bad, was it? He says a feeling that you're going to drown is a great reminder of the need. But you need practice. Judging by your Mooma's look, it seems you forgot something.
Berry?
You promised you'd train with her before the sun goes down. It's time to go.
Andro?
You know you can't make up for lost time.
Kalino?
You should know. Practice makes perfect.
Inadobsunka?
She'll see you at the village square.
Asana yotutupu.
She'll be waiting for you. There will be a surprise. Here's another familiar face with lots on his mind. He was hoping you could help him pick up some scrap for a thingamajig he's working on. He's happy to hear that from someone that's a part of the coming generation. You owe it to yourself to protect the environment. You should look for things that are recyclable. It shouldn't take you too long to find. He wonders what usefulness you found. He says whatever it is, it shouldn't be left lying around on the ground. He can work wonders with almost anything and asks if you know how to upcycle. But that's his point, to take something useless, change it. He'd love to teach you to upcycle, and the scrap you found would be... You did well, but he can't help but wonder why you decided to craft a weapon. He appreciates those able to deliver a sharp remark. It looks like she's starting to lose her patience. You know she doesn't like waiting for you. She wants to see you on the village. Then you've got a good excuse. You share a responsibility to prevent hard... She wants you to grow up and start thinking for yourself. You really need to find yourself before she's gone. She won't live forever, you know that. But she intends to make the most of every day she... You've always followed your own path, but this time... They look determined. Better watch out. He asks you to stop right there and wonders where you think you're going. He says that it's not too late for you to turn back, though. There's no way they'll let you pass. He wants to know who you think you are. He says you're right. Nobody can tell him what he can and can't do, and that includes... She asks if you're hurt. What happened? She says it's nice of you to consider them, but they have weapon training at sunrise tomorrow, so they'll need all... The most important thing is that you're okay. It's time to focus on your training now. Here's someone close to heart, doing what he does best. He asks if you could help him, too, before you leave for training. He'll leave the quick part to you. You're the martial artist. He suggests you get going and find him gadgets and ideas for how you can upcycle some of... He's curious to see what you found. He's gathered so much over the years, and it's hard to remember everything. Nothing's wrong. He says it's about time you learned how, and offers to teach you, starting.
como judo papazene.
The style might be too edgy for his taste.
Inta padang waksuva.
You should take it with you.
Chérie la fille.
He's looking for...
Kialdo male ganaro tono.
Your Muma says it's about time you got here.
Nampusa.
Hopes you're as ready as you claim to be.
Gendrana mala.
She says she is eager to get started. You don't have much time left before the sun goes down.
Ariaroche nui mumera.
Your Muma says you did well today. She's so proud of you.
Nampusa.
That's all she's ever asked of you.
Tukonda.
Been working on a present for you, with the help of Gizmo and Wiz.
Masamal.
You should go see him and find out what it is. Catchy.
Masamal.
Your Muma says she's never seen an apparatus as green as this little...
Pala.
A piece of Scraptronics like this has built-in old-world tech that...
Anoraka papum.
It's called an automaton, and it's hardwired to your DNA. It'll follow wherever you go and see what...
Pala.
You're lucky to have such a fine helper with you.
Sana yote.
Your Muma says you look tired. No wonder. It's been a long day.
It's intended.
She's so happy you made the most of it. Rest, and you'll find strength for tomorrow. Nothing could stop Lupa Lupin from setting the world on fire.
Andoro. Kensi. Kamanu.
Your Muma urges you to blaze a trail. A burnt kidling will learn to dread fire. That's just adding fuel to the flames. Give it a last burst and you'll make it.
Kensi.
Your Muma says this is it. The time has come. She must fight Lupa Lupin. This time there's no escape.
Nalagimamuru.
Whatever happens, you need to know she loves you. And everything she's done has been to protect... Here it comes. The past coming to haunt the present. must go through fire and water to make it out of here. Your Muma says you can make it if you believe in it. Where she goes, you go. Blood is thicker than water. You're in deep surf. Don't make waves. The surf goes where it wants to go. It'll take you to the shore as long as you go with the flow. Death is not to be feared by one who has lived life with a pure heart. A part of her will live on in you. The creature is hungry for more. Nothing is going to stand in its way now. If a sacrifice is made for someone else, it's not lost, but passed on to the next. Life must go on. Real sacrifice comes from love and necessity, when all other options are exhausted. The ultimate test of conscience is the willingness to give up anything to save what you truly care about. What you do for yourself dies with you. What you do for your kin remains and makes you immortal in their memory. As the moment fades and is lost, the only thing that remains is loneliness. It doesn't mean you'll forget your past. It simply means you need to move on.
The tribe's caught a fluffy hulk. Better watch out, it's no pet.
They couldn't keep it down. Fluff Hulk's on the loose.
Flying fists.
You're empty of ki. I've received news a Ronin joined the tribe's ranks and were looking forward to meeting you.
Luiga, uyupe.
You should hurry there and help them storm the outpost.
Luiga, uyupe.
Mercy is for the weak. The Jagni tribe seek no one's sympathy. Look, an emergency box from the old days. Wow, bet that nut makes a tight fist. Toxanol was something called a corporate juggernaut. And our world still bears the marks of the massive ecological catastrophes they inflicted upon the land. The apocalypse they caused was the end of days for their world. But for us, it was simply a beginning. Tunnels like this still carry echoes from the past. Can you hear it? That notice board, filled with the leftovers of used-to-be wants. You're getting close to one of those old Toxanol brick towns. Pay attention. The Toxanol Corporation made this place, and then just threw it away when they were done with it. Toxanol never cared about the waste, as long as they didn't have to pay to clean it. There must be a track somewhere in this brick. There are tough times ahead, no matter where you go. Never? You need to get the pegs lined up to get the clothes soaker rolling. That's spiraled out of control. You need to turn the pegs in sync. That's spiraled out of control. You need to turn the pegs in sync. That's spiraled out of control. The bright time creatures are getting up. It's Peekaboo Park. Young ones love this sort of place. Faster, better. That's a myriad tribe outpost. The Vespidut outpost, long-time home of the Myriad tribe. Such a bright...
Usætter kommer søde.
Says you need to hit them where it hurts. Inflict...
Geschaut ved kodle billednis.
Clearly, you haven't come here to waste... Here's the first line of defense. That's a bomb lob. That hit the spot, wrecked it. Give those twirly wheels a turn. That wasn't the right way. Yes, the river tub's going down the drain. Keep going. cage is holding a helper. Says they've been treated fair, but is glad to see you. Wishes there was another way, but they'll do their best. A sharpshooter. The scaffolding looks unstable. Better stay clear of the red ray. Here's the second line of defense. Timber. Bet a big bump will bring it down. Switched off the light. A barrel shoot. Smack it to get a barrel out of it, then hit it toward the gate and blast it. That looks splody. Shoot it and watch it blow. Not too close, though. Kaboom! You're in. Almost there. The outpost belongs to your tribe now. He says you made them weaker, but they won't give up. Your Sifu thanks you. Your tribe is growing stronger. Says you did a great job capturing the outpost. You've earned the Says you're lucky to have the honor. Out of Date says he's doing his best to keep up, but from what he can tell, it seems you're making progress with the tribe conflict. He had a feeling you'd get along with the Jagni tribe. You seem to get along with the Jagni tribe, which doesn't come as a surprise as you... But Out of Date emphasizes that solving the tribe conflict won't matter unless you help make a step. That's the sound of impending doom. Out of Date's premonitions of imminent disaster are true. The porcupine needs to be handled. He says the time has come to confront the porcupine at the end of the east route. Goop is working on making his goo glide strong enough to break the waves out. You should get over there and see what you can do to... The daytime makes it harder for things to sneak up on you. That's too bad. Says there's an interesting place nearby that no one knows about, but doesn't really want to talk about it right now. Cackles about how you and the...
Faye yubu.
Claims to have strange things from the dead.
Yok poituya luya, guru.
Fair enough. Or
Faye yubu.
asks you...
Yok poituya luya, guru.
Feels good to be alive. Shopkeeper claims you... claims to have strange things from...
Iiiiii
says the shop hold.
Vega jak yapakyu.
It would be the perfect spot for a vacation. That there's Subnautica Station. Goop flounders around in there. Let's see.
Yangu. Ajitawa. Kitenko.
Says it's good to see you again. He's Goop. You might remember him from the old days when he tried to teach you how to swim. Goop says you were always so righteous as a child, and he can still feel it, even at a distance. Goop says memories fade surprisingly fast. We are all pieces of what we remember. He can't tell you much, as he didn't want to hear anything about it. He can't understand how someone could be so vicious, even though he knows there are reasons behind it. He understands you've returned to face Lupa Lupin. That's the destiny you've been carrying within yourself. He says that the catastrophe back then didn't vanquish the good in you. It's still there. Now the time has come for you to remember and act. He understands why you seek revenge, but he doesn't think you realize how that'll make...
Yes, that's the way. No arguing with that.
Sometimes your gut is flat out wrong. Even the dark knows you're better than this.
Stick with me. We'll rule.
Figures the world is a goner. Even the goo will go gone. Wishes you hadn't done so much to make the goo even gooier. Wonders why you're flapping around with the Jagni. They spend too much time nesting to do anything fun. But hey, back to the goo. Knows yesterday is already gone. It's what you do today and tomorrow that'll move you forward. You need to set the past aside, at least. He
He
can't leave the Subnautica station, as the pollution has worn down the insulation of his suit. So you must salvage enough scrap to fix up his goo glide, starting with the old. You should return when you've retrieved the scrap. There's no time to waste if you want to make the goo glide strong enough to fight the Porky Puff. You're lucky that way. There's still cargo left on the shores from before the apocalypse. His best guess is a power tanker hit a reef and... A story has got to keep moving forward. Could be easy to get lost down here. Watch out for drop-offs. They can surprise you down here. is breaking. What a wonderful day! Better perk your ears up. Darkness doesn't hurt sound. Not going to happen with your key energy level. Poker. Whoa, smell that? Biohazard nearby. Make the most of the night while you can. Toxanol's offshore drilling caused oily matter to spread. Looks like the switches need to be turned to match so enough charge can flow through the conductors. Good. That's enough electric current to initiate the actuators and activate the framework.
Anne. Sairuja. Rapike.
He's got the goo glide functional. You'll have a pull hook and a salvage net, but no armor, and an engine strong enough to break through the thick goo further out. There's debris floating around on the surf that might be blocking your path or needs to be towed. That means you'll need a device, so you... Goop says Gizmo's devised a cannon for the goo glide, but instead of bullets, it flips quacks. The best way to find quacks is to talk to Gulp. He has the bearings of... This means you'll have the privilege of visiting Gulp in the Sinky Dink. He'll be able to give you directions. He only knows what's visible to the naked eye. Gulp is not much of a... Maybe it's later than you think. Hard to tell at night. Looks good. Welcome to the Surf Archipelago, where the horizon rests on the surfy goo. You're poking around Pokbur, a prime village. This here is the Sinky Dink, home of Gulp, at the very least. You enjoyed that?
Ja.
He's pretty sure he's heard of you before, although the details are maybe a little... Guesses he does, but it's a long life in a wild world. Sometimes he's shaken, not stirred. Says you look like you've got a powerful thirst to do something in this world. Good, bad, not really sure, but it seems like you've been drinking in your destiny and like it... Wants to know if he could point you towards something fun to drink, so that you could share with the... Either way, he hopes you find a way to wet your whistle before the world comes to an awful dry end and leaves us all. Says life's like a mystery drink. Sometimes it's amazing, and sometimes it's awful. But either way... Sure, but that's nowhere near as quick and easy. Who wants to stop to... Says you should toast the end of the world, but you'd better... Respects how you take care of yourself first Thinks it's funny you wound up with the Jagni. They drink so little, like birds. Can't understand that. Everybody's thirsty. But who cares about them? Says you'd be as bummed out as him if you came for the hot stuff. The Glugmocker, Nimhimbibble, and his favourite radium syrup. That one's even more intoxicating now, aged in truck tankers and all. Without a drink, and radium syrup especially, he can't move, much less think.